how did you do on the writing assessment?
I did pretty well on it. I got an advanced. Writing is something that I just like to do. It's something that kind of comes pretty easily. I like being able to communicate through my writing.
Do you like to write?
No, I do not.
Why not?
Because I find it a hassle and I'm really not good at putting words that come from my mind onto paper.
Did you feel nervous when you were doing it?
Yeah,
Why?
because I didn't want to mess up. You only get one chance to do it.
What was the grade that you got on the assessment? Do you remember?
I did the basic.
Were you happy with that?
I didn't really care because it wasn't worth a grade, so it's just like, yeah, if it was worth a grade, I would have tried.
Do you think that you are a basic writer?
No, probably not.
Do you have a strength in writing?
I give I give detail.
Specific details.
Yeah.
When scoring writing, it's easy to get sucked into the technicalities, like dangling modifiers or comma splices or run-on sentences. However, as you score these essays today, please remember the big picture, that these essays were written on demand in a very short amount of time with no additional help from teachers or peers. So think of it as a Polaroid. It's a snapshot indicating where they are in their writing at this point, and as you heard from the students earlier, they all come from a variety of different experiences and have different emotions and mindsets when it comes to this writing. So it's our goal to help you understand your vital role in the development of our students' literacy.
Before reading the essays, it's important to familiarize yourself with the rubric. There are two things to consider. First, the rubric focuses on 4 main parts of an essay: the introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion, and grammar and mechanics. Second, you'll notice that each box on the rubric is assigned a certain point value. When scoring, please stick with the assigned point values. For example, if a student is basic in body paragraphs, that student receives exactly 8 points. Also, you can see by the point values that the most important aspect of the student's writing is the body paragraphs. Have fun!
Hey Sarah,
Hi.
you ready to do this?
Let's do this. Here's our first blue book. So we'll set it here so that we both can read it.
All right, sounds good. And remember, don't forget to fill out your practice rubric as we go along and read, and then when we're done, we'll compare our final scores at the end. Okay. And you know what else we should do? Erasers up when we're done reading so we can kind of watch each
All
other.
right, great. Sounds good. No peeking at my scores now.
All right.
Okay. So what do you have for the intro?
Proficient.
I got basic.
Well, you know, I saw an attention getter at the beginning,
It's only one sentence though.
but it's there. Remember, when we're doing timed writing pieces, it's not like we have multiple drafts with feedback, so we can't be too picky about that.
That's true. And I guess there is a statement that takes a stand as the second sentence, so I'll go with proficient too. I had the body paragraphs as proficient. How about you?
Truthfully, I put an X between proficient and basic. I wasn't sure, and I wanted to see how you were scoring.
You know what? I agree. I guess my problem was that I thought that one paragraph was proficient and that the other one was basic.
Me too.
Well, I think it's important to remember that our focus is remediation, though. So I thought the first body paragraph was pretty good, and I did see some minor problems in that other paragraph, but I don't really think that the student needed remediation. To me, it was clear that they understood the basics of writing, and they wouldn't really need to take a whole class over again in order to fix their problems that they had.
Agreed. Proficient it is then.
Okay.
What do you have for the conclusion?
I put proficient.
You know, I put advanced. I thought they had a really good summary and then a good call to action.
To be honest, I don't really know what a call to action is.
Well, you know, after you've given your argument to somebody and then you want them to do something based on your arguments, you might say, write your congressman, or let's start a petition, something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. And I guess I would change that then. I would agree with you on that one. I would put advanced.
All right. So what about grammar mechanics? I put basic. There are a couple places I need to stop and read over a couple times.
I agree.
So let's tally the score.
All right, sounds good. Proficient.
Great. Let's enter the scores on the final rubric in the blue book. So we gave a proficient to the introduction, another proficient for the body paragraphs. We went with advanced on the conclusion and basic on the grammar and mechanics. The final score is 28.
All right, sounds good. I'll take the final rubric with our final score on it and the blue book up to our room leader, and then we can start our next essay.
I can't wait.
You'll notice that most of you have an English teacher in the room to help guide you through this process. So if you have a question, just ask.
Okay, so you've been given about a stack of 20 essays, and you're going to grade these essays with a partner. And as you grade these essays, have a discussion with your partner. You know, if there's a different grade on each essay, talk it over and see if you can come to a compromise as to the final grade on the essay. Now this process will take a little while at first until you get into the groove. And once you do, you'll have these essays done in no time.
We've all seen terrible handwriting, but bad handwriting does not equal bad writing. Look at the content and organization.
Most students try and do their best, but can only do so much in the limited time. So please take this into consideration when scoring their assessments.
Hi, it looks like you need one final reminder about how to grade this writing assessment. And this one is clutch. For this final reminder, you want to make sure you're focusing on remediation. Because if you have a student who is either borderline proficient or not proficient, you want to look at, does that student need remediation? Do they need another class to help them write an essay and make it coherent or logical? If their essay is just not logical or coherent at all, and it looks like they may be off in another world, you might want to have them be either basic or minimal. If it just looks like they need a couple tweaks and it's just a little bit of grammar stuff going on there, then, you know, make it proficient or advanced. However, don't get caught up on those grammar mistakes because they aren't the central focus. Your central focus is, are they writing a coherent paper? Are they writing, you know, beginning, middle, and end? The grammar, everybody struggles with that. I struggle with it sometimes. So let's move on past that and let's just look at the, do they need remediation?